Okay.
Okay, hi, good morning, welcome.
Good morning. I'm glad it worked out again.
It worked out again. Welcome, Holly. We tried this once. We did a
Yes, it was a good practice run. I'd never done
yeah,
one before, so that
we
was awesome.
did a rough draft last week, and this time we're really recording it, and it's really happening. So welcome. Thank you for joining me again. This is Holly, and she owns Northwood Serenity.
Yes, Northwood Serenity Doula.
Okay, so you are a licensed massage therapist and also a doula,
Yes,
an
an
end of
aging and end of life doula.
beautiful.
Because there's also the birth doula.
Sure, there are actually, upon researching this a little bit, there's a doula for everything. And
Awesome.
even like miscarriage or things like that, it's
Okay.
I mean, it's a so okay, first and foremost, before we get dive deep into it, what can you define the word doula, please?
I do know the answer.
In your own words, with your own heart, girl.
Yes. So basically, a doula is a helper. I mean, in the very simplest terms, a doula is a helper.
Yes. And in your area of expertise, what do you help people do?
Yeah. So I, of course, as a massage therapist, I help everybody there.
Yes.
Um, with just focusing on doula, um, aging and end of life. And when I say aging, I'm not talking that you have to be in your 70s or 80s. I mean the process of aging, kind of. And one of the things that I do is called a um, living well plan. So just really kind of looking at each stage of life and what's the best way to live that stage of life,
Beautiful.
and what are the possibilities of things, you know, when things fall apart, what's the best way to navigate that as well.
Yes. Yes. So
So
you're a beautiful resource for everybody. And
thank
I
you.
know this is kind of weird because this conversation is going to feel like we're repeating a whole conversation probably, but that's okay because well we talked about like end of life planning even down to like our belongings, our assets, our whatever. You know, like
Right.
that's a the earlier you do it, the better, in my
It's
personal opinion. Like,
Yes, it makes things so much easier. I mean, we think about it being such a daunting thing to do. And yes, none of us like to think about not being here.
sure.
But the more that you can prepare for it, for one, the less stress you have
Yes.
when that time comes,
Yeah.
and the less stress for your family and loved ones.
Everybody. Everybody. And it does seem daunting until like you start doing it. Like for us, we did this a couple years ago, like our, estate planning and our advanced directives and all of the things that like could or would happen. And
Mhm.
it was like actually when, I got a list of my belongings together, I was like, huh, well, that's kind of neat to like you're getting this and this is the choice and like I decide and there's nothing you can do about it because I'm dead. Okay. So, but the other thing was too, like as far as like, do you want to have an open casket or do you want to be cremated type questions? And it's like, man,
Mhm.
for me personally, any end of life ceremony or funeral or celebration of life that I've been to, like I've never been able to really get close to an open casket just because I've never seen somebody the way I remembered them.
Right.
So, for me, I'm like, throw me in the fire, burn me up, and then chuck me into the Chippewa. Okay. Like
Yeah.
that's, but along with that, it was like, um, a lot of it too, like I had, it had synced up in my life because my grandma had passed. And it was like, well, how do you want things to go? Like, if you don't give somebody a plan on how, even like your celebration of life, like we get to choose that. We have a right to
Mhm.
choose that. So I was like, all right. I went on my Amazon Music and I started building a playlist. And it was
Nice.
so much fun. Like all my favorite songs and all the songs that like I want, you know, this is the life I tried to live. This is the example I tried to set. This is a legacy I tried to leave behind. Like, and that
Yeah.
was really fun. And then wrote a letter to my dad and my brother. Here's all the directions of what to do. You guys don't even have to deal with anything. Like, it's going to be awesome.
Right.
And then
Ni-
to have the feeling I had when that was all complete, like, that was one of the most adult things I've ever done in my life. I felt so accomplished and like nobody has to worry because it is done. Nobody has
Right.
to, like, I took the pressure off of everybody else in my life. That feels good. That feels like something
Excuse
that
me. Got
that
a tickle all of a sudden.
feels something like a caregiver would do. I care about all you, so I'm going to help you all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Because when people are grieving, like if you don't tell them what you want, and say maybe in little passings you've said, oh, I like the color purple, or I want lilacs, or something, whatever,
Yeah.
you know it's like, but when you put it in writing, even if you've told multiple people different things, in a grieving mind, we don't remember things correctly. And quite honestly, sometimes I can't remember what I did 2 weeks ago. So, you
Yeah,
know,
grief brain is one of the realest things I've ever experienced. Wow.
yes.
Yep.
So having stuff written down, even if it ends up being something completely opposite of what you may have told somebody,
Yep.
having it written down, at least at that point in time when you wrote it down, you were probably clear and lucid. And if you put it in writing, pretty much you're committing that's
Yeah.
what you want,
Yep.
you know?
Yes.
So, and then always date things. I say throw a date on it also,
Yep.
because realistically, you should take a look at that every year or two. Just, life changes,
Yeah.
things change. Maybe your playlist that you had right now isn't the same playlist you want in 10 years, but, you know,
Yep.
yeah.
The only
So
thing that stays
definitely
the same
write
is
things
life.
down.
I said the only thing that stays the same is everything's always changing. So, like a year, I mean, you think about how much can change in a year. I mean, just
Mhm.
based on like grief alone, how much
Yeah.
grief can change in a year, because it does. And it was weird for me because it was just about almost exactly that year point after my mother had passed that I was like, I all of a sudden don't feel like so fucking sad anymore. It was like I I don't know if I could say I like can control it, but I'm just more, I don't know, at peace with the moments when they come and it's like this is just a reflection of her love again. And I keep getting
Right.
punched in the face about it. Why am I sad? This is a reason to celebrate. So it's
Yes.
just interesting like how that can shift in a year's time.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah. And don't be surprised if, I mean, there's times my dad will be gone 5 years in May. And there's times where just kind of out of the blue, for whatever reason, it'll kind of hit and it'll feel like it's hitting kind of hard.
yeah.
But it doesn't drag me down for days.
Sure. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it just kind of comes in, And it's like, okay, we're going to ride this wave for a moment.
Yeah, ride the wave and feel it, you know.
And then, all right, yes, we'll be on our way.
Yep, yep, that's pretty much exactly how it goes down too. Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's neat. And also like the knowing that man that love given, especially by a parent, like when you lose a parent, it's just like a whole what? You know, you're almost in disbelief because it's like shock. Like,
Mhm.
no, this person has been the only person that I've had my whole entire life. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what? You know,
Yeah.
so that was a lot of like the first part of it, just like I can't believe it. Like we got to just keep moving and going through these steps and writing obituaries and planning and like remembering like what that was like. It's like, man, how are we doing
Mhm.
this? How are we even doing
Right.
this right now?
Well, and that's it too, is write your own obituary.
Yeah. Ooh,
Write your own obituary. Talk to your
girl.
family about it.
Yep.
If somebody wants to throw something else in,
Yep.
great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like with my dad, other than knowing that he wanted to be cremated, I
Yep.
have a little story. But yes, we knew he wanted to be cremated and we knew he wanted to be under the oak tree.
Yeah.
All right, can make that happen.
Yeah.
So he's gets cremated. We decided on a day to have we just did a small celebration of life for him. He was like, "Yep, I just want you guys to have a bonfire, maybe a couple beers, you know, that's what he wanted." So that's what we did.
Yeah.
But it's funny because uh so the ashes, we didn't get a special urn or anything like that. So they just come in a plastic box.
Right. Yep.
And I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? Like, I felt like we needed to do something special with his ashes. Well, my dad had he had two pairs of favorite boots. He had his work boots, and then he had his work cowboy boots.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to put his ashes in his cowboy boots, and those are the ones that we're going to bury those, you know, under the tree with his ashes in it. That felt right.
Yeah.
That felt really
I love
good.
that.
But I have to say, I had asked each of my siblings, I asked my mom, and I asked the grandkids. I said, "Does anybody want any of his ashes
Yeah.
before we bury him? Does anybody want his ashes?" And everybody's like, "No, no, no, no," and that's fine. And when I asked my youngest daughter, she goes, "Mom, I don't think Grandpa would like that." It's like I bust out laughing and I said, "You are so right. You're right. But it's not anything that we ever discussed.
Right. Right.
So I didn't know."
And yeah, like that's my mom is still in the plastic box in the velour bag on top of the like shelf in her art studio because we haven't found like the perfect receptacle or she didn't have like a wish to be put somewhere or
Right.
so that's
My my
tough.
my mother-in-law passed away, it'll be 60, no, sorry. It'll be 11 years ago this year. And she's still in the plastic box because
Sure.
my husband's plan is to go around to their favorite lakes that they used to go fishing and camping at.
Yeah.
But he hasn't actually done that yet.
Okay.
So
Sure. Yeah. I
she's
mean,
still in the
honestly,
box.
it is so nice to know because like for my grandpa, I've been his caregiver for the last several years and we've talked about it and I've helped him. Well, I shouldn't say I've helped. That dude is savvy. Like he knows what he's doing. Like I brought him to his appointment, like to the attorney to like get everything squared away after she had passed and after my mom had passed. And um he just like he's like, I've got everything ready. Grandma's urn is still on top of his dresser in his little apartment, and the dog's ashes are, and the other dog's ashes are with her. And
Oh, wow.
when he goes, he wants to be put there, and they can be buried in their plot that they have. So, like, it's
But
all
you
set up.
know that.
I know that. And I'm like, why do you make everything so easy? You are just such a blessing. Like,
It
it's
is one
so,
of the best acts of love you
it
can do
is.
for
It
your loved
is.
ones.
I mean, it almost seems ridiculous, but honestly, knowing that gives me just such comfort. It gives me
Mhm.
such, like, I'm going to be able to take care of this even when my heart is broken.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for me, that's like, man, I'm making sure I'm doing all of these things and putting them in place now because we just don't know.
Mhm. Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
to have like I didn't have a guide like you that helps to do that, but
Mhm.
I just kind of searched it up and I'm like, well, this is all the stuff we need. Do it. I'm not wordy and like I don't know the laws and I can't that type of language just gives me a migraine. So I'm like,
Right.
we hired a lawyer and had her put it all. I mean, this is something you can do online, and I'm sure it's guided step by step type thing as
Yep.
well. But
Yep.
I
You
mean,
can
it
do
would
that.
have been very handy because this was like a several. This took me several months and months. I would say probably a
Oh, yeah.
year just to get my shit together. And like looking back, hindsight, it's like, man, if I would have had somebody to coach me and guide me through that, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. It could have been done in a few months.
Yeah,
Well, and everybody's different.
sure.
I would say if you've got a lot of real estate, a lot of investments, a lot of that kind of stuff,
Yep.
then having a lawyer for the trusts and such, that's important. You
Yes.
do need a lawyer for that.
Yep.
But um, you know, if you're like most of us who just you have things, and maybe a house,
Yep.
you know those are more simple.
Yes.
Just basically your bank account and maybe a couple of life insurance policies.
Sure.
Those are things that can be handled either by yourself through all of the online resources that there are, or that's something I can help with.
Sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So that's the
But when it comes to your millions, I have to say, a lawyer.
yeah. Yeah. So as far as like end of life helping,
Yes, end of
actual
life helping. So, do you know you get to actually say how you would like your end of life to go? You can pretend there's a perfect scenario and you can plan for that. You can have the lighting that you want. You can have the sounds that you want. You can have the smells that you want. You can even say who you want nowhere near you when you are
Who's not
dying.
invited? You're not invited. Oh my God.
Well, and I say that because we know our loved ones. We know who is going to freak out, and we know who is going to give us the space in our last moments. I mean, really, when you think about it, that Aunt Nellie is probably going to be the one who's going to be fighting and screaming and saying, you need to be doing one more thing to try to live, even though you're taking your last breaths. And we have to remember that we can hear that even
Right.
when we're in our sleep. We can hear that. So, what are the sounds that you want in those last moments?
Yep.
You can write those down and create that for yourself.
That's beautiful.
Do you want Def Leppard playing in the background,
Sure.
or do you want Carmen the opera playing.
Yep.
I've had somebody told me I absolutely will not have opera. That's the only music I don't want to hear. And I said, okay.
Oh, too funny. Yep, and that was like a lot of the inspiration too behind my playlist. It's like this is what I want. I mean, my intention was like to have a funeral playlist basically, where like everybody comes over and hangs out on the shoreline and, we have a fire and a gathering and community and food and all the goodness and
Right.
fireworks and like I mean to celebrate like after I lost my mom, it was like we didn't have any of those ideas for her. So I mean, we put it together and it was everything. It was everything. I mean, it
Mhm.
was it was beautiful just to
Right.
celebrate and know, it was so easy and like that's what she was. Just no muss, no fuss, and we had her art everywhere, and we had butcher paper on all the tables, and colored pencils and crayons so everybody could
Oh,
create.
cool.
And man, the coolest part was too, like I realized a lot of things in that process. My friends. Now, I didn't know there was like a silent contract that you sign when you become and remain friends like throughout your whole lives, but it is when your loved one dies, I will come and swoop in and take care of all of these little details that you do not need to worry about, such as
Mm.
food and beverages and like taking care of all the people that are coming to celebrate, Like
Mhm.
we did not have to lift a finger when it came to
Oh,
that.
awesome.
And I felt so blessed and so supported and so loved. And it like showed me, taught me, learned me that's the type of person you need to be every time someone dies.
Yes. Yes.
you know, like
Yeah.
I didn't realize how precious that would be to me.
Yeah.
It sucks that it takes like something like that happening for, like everybody. It was just like everybody came through unanimously all at the same time, and we just felt so like uplifted.
Hmm.
And it just, it reflects the love that she left in this world.
Right. Yes.
Man, that's what I want to aspire to be, like so.
Yes. Be the person that people will swoop in and help with at the last moments.
Oh gosh, yeah. So that was, through the grief and through the all of it, and even still like the not knowing what to do with their ashes or how to, it's
Mhm.
like, man, it's I have been shown so many beautiful blessings through this end of life process, not only in my mom's and grandma's, but like how I want it to be and how easy I can make it for the rest of the world.
Right. Yes. Yes. And the other thing that having the planning does is it, like, when you openly talk about things, it also creates this, like, you just want to live better.
Yeah, it
In
does.
in planning for death, you end up living better.
It's true. It's a reverse psychology therapy. It is. It is because I'm like, man, I like realizing, you're coming close to midlife as far as the average goes. And it's like, man, I only got a minute left. I haven't I've done all the things I need to take care of this. All of it. You know,
Mhm.
it does.
Yeah,
It does open your eyes a lot to, what is no longer serving you and
right.
what things need to change and what things you need to let go of. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Another thing that, you know, I want to mention about having someone close to you die, we don't realize all of the connection points that were with that person and how those change. That's one of the things that we really don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite huge.
It is.
We never realized, like, for example, my dad, between our parents, my dad is was the better communicator.
Yep.
So having him not there is kind of like, oh, so sometimes now when you go to call mom, you got to call 3 4 times, 5 times,
Yeah.
send a couple texts and be like, geez.
Right.
Whereas even talking with my siblings, it's the realization that, oh yeah, dad was oftentimes, I can't say always, but oftentimes the one who would call you back. And it would be that simple, you'd call and he'd be like, he always sounded so grumpy. What do you want?
Yeah. Yep. That's also
But
my
it would
dad.
be so awesome to hear that. What do you want
Yeah.
again? And then all of the people that he knew and how you knew. I mean, there's some of those relationships that are still there, but there's a lot of them that all of a sudden it's like once you come out of your grief haze, it's kind of like, wait a minute. Like, I haven't seen so and so in 6 months, and I used to see them, once a week.
Sure. And
Yeah.
and that too, like all of these connection points. So all of these connection points, they also hold that person in a special place in their heart, and they are too grieving. And we
Right.
all grieve so differently, and like none of it's correct, but it's all correct, and it's like there's no wrong way to do it.
Right.
And when like it's interesting, the like those connections can either strengthen because of that loss or fizzle because of that loss, and it's just
Mhm.
it is interesting the how everybody, like, there is a spectrum to grieving, because a lot of people choose not to, and
Yeah.
they'll take that with them for the rest of their lives, but some people are just like me. For example, when mom passed, I was like, okay, we got to clean out the closet, and we got to get rid of like her clothes and stuff. And my brother was like, what? Like,
Why would you do that?
when's the right time? When are we ready? When is, and as a family, like a close family unit, like I found it challenging at times to try to like be compassionate to how they were grieving. Like, I didn't want to fucking piss anybody off because we're all sad. You know,
Right.
it's just like, so I did find that a little bit difficult to navigate. But coming back to like the connections part of the connection points and all the people that like mom knew that
Hmm.
like sent messages and just, shared with me like, this is who your mom was to me, and this is like the impact she had on my life. And it's just like, wow, that is
Yeah.
so beautiful. So,
Yeah.
the connection points are a very interesting facet of the grief.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Everybody grieves differently, but it's really important that they grieve.
Yeah, going
And
back to that.
some people don't. It's like it was this thing that happened and now we're just moving on, which yes, you still need to move on, but you need to feel the feels
Yep,
because as you know, and I know, when you don't feel the feels, the body will feel the feels later in different ways you don't expect.
yep, exactly. The
Yeah.
body keeps the score. So, like in deep grief, if you don't release it, it gets held somewhere in your body. Sometimes, a lot of times it's in your heart
And
and
lungs.
lungs. And like, as
Mhm.
far as organs, I mean, that you can have issues or ailments or illnesses like all within this area, or like being that you're a massage therapist, like people hold emotions in their back, in their shoulders, in their neck, the area that like
Yeah.
protects their heart, you know,
Yeah.
and it gets knotted up and bound up because you're not actually feeling what it feels like to be fucking sad that you lost the person that you care about the most, you know?
Right.
That is like let it out, cry, write, run, whip shitties in the Walmart parking lot, like get it out of your body, you know? It
Yes.
doesn't matter how you do it. It's just like you have to otherwise, and it might take years later before like it shows up in your body, but it will.
Mhm.
But it will.
It will, for
It will.
sure. And it'll be out of the blue. You'll wake up one day and your shoulder will be hurting, and you're like, I didn't do anything. Well, yeah, but your loved one died 10 years ago, and you shed two tears and decided that was enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and for a lot of people it's like, no, I didn't get closure or I didn't, you know, that and that's a lot of the resistance to feeling that grief. But
Right.
like you closure is available to you at any given moment.
Anytime.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that can be like a process to walk through that. But all closure is actually feeling, oh my God, I miss this person so much. I'm so sad with this hole or this emptiness in my heart. I just want to cry. I just want to scream. I just want to explode. And then cry and
Mm-hmm.
scream and explode in the safety and comfort of your own home and don't, you know, expose it to anybody else. I mean, obviously it's good to have like support and things, but I mean, not to be like destructive, but to let these emotions out of your body because
Right.
it'll kill you.
It will
It'll
literally.
kill you.
Yeah.
Yep, it'll show
So
up
you
and
often hear, so grief, as I've learned, grief stores in our lungs and in our large intestine.
okay, yep,
So, and you oftentimes will hear about, like an older married couple where one passes away and then the other one will pass away
within
6 months later,
yeah,
sometimes shorter than that, from pneumonia.
sure. Yep.
Well, pneumonia is your lungs.
Yeah.
That's grief.
Yep. I
Yeah.
know. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
But it is. We got to find ways to, you know, allow it, allow the feeling, allow it to ride the wave, like you said, allow
Yeah.
it to like pass through because it will. These
Mhm.
emotions are so fleeting. And yeah, they might
Exactly.
come back when you're just standing there doing the dishes. Out of the blue, you get punched in the face with, "Oh my God, I just want to call my mom." You know, like
Mhm.
those things can
Yeah.
happen, but it's just like feeling it in that moment is the thing that's gotten me through it. And that's why a year and a half later, like I don't feel like I feel like I can live my life and I'm learning how to do that without her with great ease. You know, of
Right.
course I get halted and stopped in my tracks. I'm like, "Wow. How did I how am I doing this without her?" But,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Allow yourself to be surprised.
yeah. Yep. Yeah. So,
I'm currently working with an older person who their family had said that, when their spouse died, they really didn't talk about it. And now that I'm working with them, we're talking about things, and they are starting to talk about things with their kids. And their kids have noticed this wonderful change that's happening.
yep,
And they've realized they're noticing less anxiety in their parent.
sure.
How beautiful.
Yes. Yep. It is like talking about it and just getting the words out. Gosh, it changes the energy. It changes the all of it. Even
Mm-hmm.
perspective. When you're
Yes.
talking to other people about it, it can help open up hearts and help other people in the process too.
Right.
Just,
Well, and the thing is that we oftentimes we want to categorize everything. You know, we talk about we want to categorize, and this is birth, and this is infancy, and this is childhood, and this is teenager, and this is young adult, and this is, adulthood, and then this is elderly, and this is really old, and this is death.
yeah,
When realistically, all of it is life.
all of it is life. It's all life.
All of it.
Yeah. Yep. It sure is. Yeah, I know. And we do that. Like, that's a habit, definitely a habit of mine, because I'm always like, where am I at in life? You know? I mean, just even something that I always say, because thanks to my mother, I am a creative and I'm a little Willard Nillard. I'm kind of a wildflower. Like, I always just like,
No.
yeah, a little bit. So like I always say, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, which is similar to like what she used to say. And I just like, I want to try a little bit of everything as far as like helping people and being creative. Like, that's what I want to be when I grow up, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, that feels, that feels good to me because first of all, it honors like my inner child because I like playing too, you know? And if we can like eliminate looking at this as like the point of life that I'm in, then it does all just become life because I'm not only do I love playing, but I contacted a lawyer and planned my end of life business. I
Yes.
mean, when you put all of these things together, that's life.
That's life. Yes.
Life. And if you do it
And we
in a way,
plan,
yep, go ahead.
I was going to say, and we plan for birth from the moment that we find out we're pregnant.
Yeah.
We take that 9 months or 10 months, and we figure out what room we want to have baby in. We paint, we get the crib, we get the things. We do all of that planning.
Yep.
And then when our child goes off to school for the first time, we plan. And when our children grow up and are going to go off to college, we plan for that. So why in the hell are we not planning for our end of life?
Yes. Yep. Yep. I mean, it's so good. There is
That's where
like
we're supposed to put the
all
brakes on and be like, no, that's not happening.
right. I know. And the fact of the matter is, we don't know. We just don't know
Right.
when our time is up. We don't know. And if you had a piece of, it could be a bar napkin for shit's sake. Like, this is what I
Yes.
want when I die. It can be very,
Yes.
very simple. It's way more direction than a lot of people leave when they pass. So,
Exactly.
yep, it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be, technical. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's just like, this is what I want. This is how I want it. And, you know, I
Yep.
want a doula to take care of me and hold me from the hospital.
I will tell you, as a doula, I am not a CNA.
Yep.
I'm not a medical doctor.
Yep.
I'm not going to wipe your butt.
Right.
I'll help you find somebody to do that stuff,
Sure.
because at the very end of life, that stuff's going to need to be taken care of.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
But yeah.
Do
Um,
you, so yes, you don't do the like physical taking care of type thing as far as like needs, but you, how do you do it? You hold space
I hold
for
space.
people and
Yes. I hold space for people so that, when they're having the really hard emotions, I can be, instead of engaging somebody else who is close to that person. And when emotions are high, things can be said that aren't meant, you know,
sure. Oh yeah.
I can be the sounding board.
Yep. That's beautiful. So you also help, like you're helping people that are, in the final days of their time on this earth, but you also help their loved
The
ones.
loved ones that are there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
And I can be, if you're a person who doesn't want every neighbor tromping through your house at the time, I can be the security guard.
Sure. Yep.
Nope, sorry, you're not invited.
Also, like if they're, well, right, you're not invited. Like if there is a situation where somebody's like, I don't want this person near me, you don't have to involve the family where then all of a sudden there's shitty feelings about it and she didn't let me in and whatever. You're the
Yeah,
person that can say, I'm sorry, but her wishes are that you don't
yeah,
partake. You're not invited.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
nobody
You're
has to,
not invited. What's that?
and then nobody has to feel bad.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that. God, that's such a good idea. So,
And then there's also with end of life, so often a person dies and then right away somebody calls, and within a short amount of time the coroner is there and that body is being whisked away.
yep,
Now for some people, they might like the idea of just, yep, I'm dead, get me out of there.
sure.
But when you talk to your family about it, and it may just be that they want to be out of there because they don't want to be a burden to anybody.
Yeah,
But when you talk to your family about it, you may find out that no, they really want a little time with you afterward.
sure. Yeah,
They might want that hour. You can, if you have all of the right things, the body does not have to actually leave for 24 hours.
right.
As long as you've got all the packings and everything, ice and stuff like that,
Yep,
you can hold a body for a bit.
yep. I know. And some people, that is part of like the closure thing too. Some people need to witness, like they
Mm-hmm.
won't feel, and that's common practice, I found. Like
Yes.
a lot of people do wait and
Yes.
hang out for a while. So,
Well,
you know,
yeah,
but you get to choose that. And if you let your family know that, then, you know,
exactly. I mean, if your family
no one
is
can help you
really
but
against it,
yeah.
then no, but at least you've had that conversation to find out.
Yes. The conversation, it's a real easy one, you know?
It's hard and easy at the same time.
Right. I mean, it's a lot easier to have when you're alive. So, I mean, let's just take care of it. Let's just nip this in the butt, okay?
Exactly.
I love that. So, I know we've been talking a lot about like what you offer as a doula, but I want to kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about massage therapy
Yes.
because I and I know you and I talked about this before, but like my first experience, I remember my grandmother taking me for a massage when I was probably about 12 years old when I went to visit her
Oh, you lucky girl.
grandparents. Well, right, but it was just like I didn't know what to expect and I was 12 and it was like this 75-year-old man and I was going into a dark room and I was like, what was happening? So I was I mean, I was 12.
Right.
And it was nothing, he was very professional. It was nothing inappropriate or anything like that. It was just, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yes.
So fast forward, I never got a massage again until maybe there's a like hidden PTSD there is why I went so many years without. Anyway, doesn't matter. I always viewed because no, here's the root of it. So my grandma was like pretty bougie. She had
Oh.
long red acrylic nails and red lips, and she was like face creams and shopping and, all of these things. So I viewed massage as like this is a luxury.
Mm-hmm.
So I never considered it until like I was in my late 30s. One of my life roommates that she and I end up living together every other episode of our life. But she's a massage therapist and she was like, "Well, just come in and we'll do a trade." And I'm like, "Okay." So I did, and that was like life-changing because I was like, I need this. This is
Mhm.
not a luxury. I see why your books are booked and why like it's so hard to get in because this is intensive therapy.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
yeah, and so since then I actually have two practitioners that I work with, so or two therapists that I work with. So I try to. It's been lax the last month just because we've all had so much going on in life, but
Mhm.
every other week. But
Nice.
yeah, and luxurious AF. I love to be able to barter and trade that type of service because oh, it's you know, I
Phenomenal.
it is, and I
Yes.
know that I need it. Like when you are receiving hands-on care, human touch, it is so effing healing.
Yes. Yes. Well, and we need it. I mean, they've done studies on babies. There's a famous study that was done where they took children from orphanages and or in an orphanage, and they like did not touch them
Hmm.
just to see how well they would do or not do,
Right.
um, and of course, they would touch them for the basic stuff, but that was it. They
Yeah.
did not love on them. They did not hold them. They did not, and these babies did not thrive.
No.
But as soon as they brought touch back into it, holding and loving on them and playing with them and interacting that way, they thrived.
Yeah.
We need human
We
touch.
need it. We
Yes.
need it.
I myself did not get a massage until I was actually going to go to massage school
Yeah. Yep.
because massage therapy was nowhere in my plans when I was
Right.
younger.
Yeah.
But just life directed me there. I was actually going to go to school for becoming an RN
Yeah.
after I did CNA and then I did CMA and then I was going to be an RN.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, I was a single mom and I needed to be working, and the schedule for the nurses
Yeah.
learning was terrible.
Yeah. Yep.
And it just so happened it was the first year that they offered um, massage therapy at the technical school, and it was in the evenings, so I could work in the during the day, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it just aligned with everything I had already learned. And when I went and talked to my instructor, she said, "Well, have you ever had a massage?" And I said, "Nope." She goes, "Before you sign up," she goes, "you go get one."
Yeah. Yep.
So I did. I signed up to get one, and I was just like, why haven't I ever done this before?
Oh, I know. So even if like I remember years ago I had for Christmas I bought my mama a massage and she was like, "Yeah, that's not for me. I don't like being touched." There's some people that just don't.
Yeah.
And I would say to those people, give it one chance. Give it
Yeah.
one chance because if you just allow, like your body is asking for help to be released. If you have tension in any part of your body, you're holding on to something. And if you keep holding on to it and contracting and don't expand and let it out, it's going to kill you.
Yes.
In some way, it's going to kill you. So
Yeah.
oh, everybody can benefit. Everybody can benefit. So do you offer like different types of massage or are
I, well, I've learned a lot of different modalities.
mm-hmm.
And so what I do is I just
It's a
kind of, when the
goulash.
person comes in, it's just whatever needs to be used that day.
Yes, same, same.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
I don't advertise, craniosacral or
Sure.
specifically, deep tissue, or I can't. It's
No.
impossible.
No, yeah, yeah, I know. That's so funny because I mean I align with that so much because like your massage therapy, like there's so many different ways you could go with that are just like body part specific, or I mean it's just a huge vast
Mhm.
like offerings.
Yes.
And the same with energy work, and you know that too. It's just like
Hmm.
when I started, it was like, what can I learn? I want to learn everything so that I can help everybody. And I was like trying to separate all of these things that I knew how to do, but it was causing more. I'm like, "Ah, this is not how this works.
No.
Intuitively, you're gonna come in here, and I'm gonna be like, okay, is this happening? Is this happening? You're gonna be like, yeah, yeah. How did you know? And I'll be like, okay, I know what you need. Get on the table. Like,
Yes.
yep.
Like I tell people, you could receive massage every day and it would be different every
Every
day.
day, every session, every client,
Yes.
every all of it, every single
Yeah.
one is different.
Hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
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 So, how long have you been doing it?
Oh, 10 years. I graduated from massage in 2007. So I'm almost 20 years into doing it, but
Yeah.
I started out just, friends and family here and there.
Yep.
But it was 10 years ago this year that my husband had said, I kind of came into some crossroads at work, and he said, "You've been talking about opening your own massage studio, so why don't you just do it?" And I'm like, because I'm not going to be able to make anything, I
Yeah.
had been, prior to him and I getting married, um, I'd been the sole supporter for years. So
Yep.
the thought of not bringing any income in scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
he was like, "You know what? It'll it'll work itself out."
Yes.
He's like, "It's fine.
Yep.
It'll do it." And I did it. So, yeah.
Yep.
So it's been 10 years full time
That's
as a
beautiful.
massage therapist.
You took the
So,
leap. You
I
took the leap.
did.
It's so
Took the
funny.
leap because he let me.
Well, and that, I mean, it really, 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 really helps to have a supportive partner.
Yes.
OMG, I will say that.
Yeah.
But it was just like the timing was divine, and
Hmm.
when we remember that in any given moment, under any given circumstance, no matter what is happening around us, we have everything we need.
Yes.
And if we can remember that, it makes it a lot easier to just jump, just do it, just fly.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
Yep.
we are supported by
Yeah.
God, by the divine, by the people that love us, by everything
Hmm.
that we've built for ourselves. Like you wouldn't be doing what you're doing now if you hadn't built that foundation and gone through like the CNA and how do I want to help people? How do I want to care for people? How do I want to hold
Exactly.
space for people? You had to navigate all that to get to that point.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I love that.
So yes, yes, kudos to him.
Yeah.
And kudos to me.
Well, you did it, girl. You did it. You can't give him all the credit.
No, no. Well, and I have a very strong faith as well.
Yeah,
So
it helps.
it helps. Yes, exactly. I
Yep.
couldn't have done it without God's help.
Yep. Yep. And that trust, I mean, through jumping, like our it's because we have faith, yes, but how much does it expand when it works and we just
Right.
know? Like you have this intuitive sense like, okay, yes, a supportive husband, but also like I have the capability to do this. I know
Yes.
I can do this. So that plus that equals 10 years later. and
Right.
you're booked up, and we're like trying to
Um,
find a slice of time to fit in a podcast, and it's like that's amazing. That's
yes.
amazing. So,
Well, and it only happened because somebody canceled because we were having really crappy weather right now. And I was like, well, that's when I shot you the text. I'm like,
and it
hey,
worked, and I just love that so far, ever since we first started contacting each other, everything has just like, yep, 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 yep,
boop,
and
boop, boop, boop.
it's so divine. It's so divine. Like I know God did this because like I've never met you in my life, but I met you on the so I bitch about the internet all the time because it's like, I don't want to. Like I'm an old soul, like garden witch. I just want to stay out there and not do anything technical, you know?
Right.
So how we met was you you placed an order.
I placed an order
Well, you had a
because
yeah.
we have a mutual acquaintance,
Yes.
and she had a little bit of your moonlight oil in the bottom of a jar.
Yeah.
And she's like, here, try this, because I basically have used frankincense, rose, and olive oil on my face for years now.
Yep.
And we were talking about all that, and she said, well, I've got this little bit of stuff left. My friend Jenna makes this. And I said, oh, okay, I'll try it. And I loved it. So then, yes, I ordered and used that up. And then this last time that I ordered, you sent me a 2-ounce bottle instead of 1 ounce. And I was like, and you didn't charge me any extra for that at the moment. And you sent me this cool little letter in there with it. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I had full intentions of sending you a thank you card in the mail, and time kept on slipping by, and I finally just, I'll email her. It just feels a little cheaper to me, but whatever.
We're the same person, okay? Because yep, like the intention. So it's just so funny how it happened too, because I remember your order coming through, and I think like you ordered late at night.
Yeah. Or early morning.
Yeah, and I woke up and I saw that and I'm like, "Oh my God." And I had to like get all my shit together and I like went straight to the post office. Like the turnaround time for your order was probably the fastest I've ever
I got
done.
it in like 2 days.
And it was just so like when you emailed me, I was like, and I had to my husband, I'm like, you got to listen to this. And you made my whole day. And it was a simple, beautifully written thank you. And so what happened then was I was like, who are you? So I crept on you. And I came across your Facebook page and then to your website. And I was like, oh, you're a
Yeah.
doula. You're a massage therapist? Like, OMG. So then I'm like, let's do a podcast. And you're like, so then we did a rough draft and now here we are today. And
Here
oh
we
my
are
God, I'm so
today.
grateful. So, where can people find you? How can we get a hold of you?
Yes. So I do have a website. It's Northwood Serenity Doula LLC, but northwoodserenitydoula.com.
Okay, I will put that in the description of the show so that
Yes.
it's clickable. And where on earth are you located?
My massage office is located in Ashland, Wisconsin.
Okay.
But my husband and I live in Iron River,
Oh, okay.
Wisconsin. So, yeah,
Awesome. You're up north, girl.
up north. Yep.
Yeah, how is it there right now?
Um, the roads were really shitty coming in.
Was it snowing or was it?
Yeah, we've got about 6 to 8 inches of snow at home, and it's wet and heavy. It's gross.
Oh, like I'm only 3 hours south of you. We got rain. Like it was raining this morning when I woke up. It's just gloomy and shitty and muddy out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not snowing in Ashland right now, but I know Iron River is supposed to get more
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you're in the
snow belt.
snow belt line. That's a
Yeah.
choice. That's a choice, girl. But hey, look at the bright side. Only 6 more months of winter.
Hopefully less.
Oh, hopefully less. I heard that effing groundhog said it was supposed to be 6 weeks, but we'll see. We experienced first spring here this past week. Like it's been
It
40,
was
50, beautiful, breezy,
gorgeous out this
sunshine.
past weekend.
Yes,
This,
yes,
the snow finally came off the roofs.
yes. Yep, just a pile more on.
Yeah.
Well, I know. It's so funny because we like I think we all feel this way, like starting at this time, the end of Feb. Well, because it's actually the new year, according
Yeah.
to, real life. So
Right.
I mean, it feels right, but it's like, man, I just want to be outside. I just want to be outside.
I
That's it.
want to dig in the dirt.
Yep. There's healing in there.
If there is.
There is. So beautiful. Well, thank you so much. This was
See,
this was a lot of fun. This was even more fun than the one we didn't record.
we'll have to do it again.
We'll have
I
to
know
do
the
it
one
again.
we didn't record.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day, girl.
You too, Jana. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.